Welcome to this session on the new features in Microsoft Teams for Education. So today we're going to go through the ones that have already been released, and I know that there's some coming which will hopefully be here by September. So we'll start off with some of the new features that are there now, and then we'll have a quick discussion about the ones coming up. So one of the main differences is the navigation has changed inside Teams. So when you go into one of your class teams, you'll see that you don't get a list of all the teams down the left hand side. You get this back to all teams, and that takes you to a tiles page. So it might make it a bit easier for you to navigate around. However, you might also think, it's a few extra clicks to go back to my teams. If that's the case, you can change back to the original view by going switch view. You can choose either the grid or the list view. So you can decide which view you want to use. So if we go into one of our brand new teams, another thing that has changed is the way that you set up Class Notebook from last year. So when you come in to your brand new team, you first have to set up your new Class Notebook for this year. So if I click Set up Class Notebook, one of the options I get is I can set a completely blank one, just like I did the previous year, or I can reuse content from an existing class notebook. So if you have got content in either the teacher section or the collaboration space that you do want to move across, you can do that fairly easily. So I can press from existing class notebook content. I can then go to next, and then I get the option to add content to my content library that the students can see and I can edit. The teacher only section that only the teacher can see. So I can click add content here. I can search for one of my previous notebooks, maybe last year's. That will then show me all the content inside the content library here. I can choose my men notes from last year. And in the teacher only section, I can do the same sort of thing. So if I want to grab some teacher only content, again, I can search through my OneNotes, select one of them, and move across some content. So really easy to bring that content in from last year. Again, I'll get the same sort of steps I had previously, where I can select the student sections that I want to create. And that'll take a few seconds to spin that new class notebook up and import all of the content. So that's now ready. And if I open up the menu in the class notebook, you'll see that in the content library, I've got my men content that I copied over previously. And in the teacher only section, I've also got the PLC overview that I copied over previously as well. So let's have a look at some of the other changes. So if we go into assignments, we get a slightly slicker view here. So all of the assignments are grouped together by the drafts, assigned, or graded, so the ones that you've marked. And if I go to create a brand new assignment, again, I get the same sort of options as last time. I'm going to quickly create one. If you're not sure how to assign them, you can check out our previous video on setting assignments in Microsoft Teams and using rubric rating criteria. So we've got that assignment that's set now, and you can see it's now grouped in the assigned section. If it's late, you'll get it highlighted red and it will say it's due late. And the students have this view as well, so they can easily see what they've got assigned, what's overdue, and what's been graded. So when you come into grade your work, you'll see it's a much slicker grading interface, mark book. And we can group them together by which ones we've got to grade and which ones are already graded. You've also got this nice search facility here. So if you've got a really large list of students in here, maybe it's some sort of year group class, you could filter that just by typing in the name into the search box. And the options in here they're really similar to what we had last time. I can enter some feedback, give them some grades. I can also select on that student and see the work that they've returned back to me. So I can see the work they return back to me, I can annotate it, etc. I can give some official feedback, return it back to them. So we do know that there's a student Markbook version coming out soon, where you can actually pivot this data and just see what students been set throughout that academic year for that class. So that should be coming out hopefully in September. You'll see there's also the option to view this as a student, so you can see exactly what the student sees when they come into this assignment. And you've got the option to edit the assignment at the top as well. So some slight interface changes there, but more coming shortly. One other feature that isn't available yet, but should be coming again sort of September, October time, is the parental digest email. So this is where you take your contacts out of your MIS, so you know your parental guardians, and it will send those parents a weekly email digest of what the student's done in class that week and what they've got coming up the following week. So it'll just be a summary in an email to keep the parents informed. So look out for that. That'll be coming shortly, but obviously to do that you need to make sure you have all the right CSVs to upload. So just to show you this experience from a student's perspective, so we can see that the student's got some homework here. You can actually see the notification on the tile itself. They can go into that class, and again, the only difference they really get in interface change is obviously the tile interface, and when they go to assignments, they're all grouped up much smarter. So we can see what work's been assigned, what work's been completed, and marked and returned back to the student. And if we go to the assignment section, you'll see that this is also grouped in a similar way, but this is an aggregate of all the assignments you've got set across all of those groups. So you can see all of the assignments assigned to you. You can see any overdue ones marked as red, so that it's really clear if they're overdue. I can also see all the completed ones. You'll see a tick next to it if it's been graded. If it's been graded, I can click on it and I can see exactly what points I got. If it's got a rubric included, I'll see exactly what I did to achieve those grades and how I can improve on that. So hopefully that's giving you a quick update on some of the new interface changes into Microsoft Teams for Education. Like I say, we do expect to see more in the coming few months, but it's really exciting, hopefully make it easier to use and more engaging for students.